All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with Ecom Sellers. Had a little bit of a situation this morning with my awesome son. Anyway, I'm glad to be here. So this is our Ecom Sellers ecom planning session, where we talk about what we need to be doing every single day in our business, how we get going, how we get organized. Again, my name is Nicole Whitlock. My passion is helping people to get organized in their business, to be able to reach their goals, their objectives, their plans, where they want to go in their business, how to achieve them. And so I said this month we're going to cover one topic every single month, in addition to planning our daily activity. We are live on Clubhouse. We are also live in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. So we're live in both places. And you can join us in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. It's an open Facebook group. There's a document in there for our daily planning session, and I'm also broadcasting live in there where we talk about our workspace and we talk about disorganization. So before we get into our daily activities, I have to say, as I say in the morning, when the alarm goes off, it's time to make the donuts. If anybody remembers that Dunkin' Donuts commercial from way back when, it's time to make the donuts. So being organized is extremely important if you are looking to trying to figure out why you're not where you want to be in your e-commerce business. All of us have a little bit of disorganization. I will tell you, I raise my hand. If you walk into my house, you'd be like, geez, Louise, very disorganized. Oh, and we could get into the weeds as to why some of that is. But in any case, being disorganized could be a sign of ADD or ADHD. It could be a sign of many different things. And one of the things that we definitely want to do is we want to get to that place where we're a little more organized in our life. And I always say that when you are trying to implement something new in your life that you're currently not doing, you definitely need to do it one bite at a time or 1 inch at a time so that you can, or just, incrementally implement it so that you don't overwhelm yourself and stress yourself out. But um, if you feel like maybe I'm a little disorganized, let's look at this is an article on Indeed. So there's a couple of different things, signs of disorganized behavior in the workplace. Now, this is the workplace, but this may also apply to your business because your business is, you work in your business. So clutter around the desk. Yeah. Right now, I have a little clutter around my desk, missing deadlines or finishing projects or submitting work. I'm not going to say that I do that. I do have to coordinate a lot of different people doing different things, and I do get frustrated if they miss deadlines. Um, Tardiness or absence from rescheduling a meeting, often absence uh, and rescheduling meetings. Well, okay, so today I was tardy. There you go. And but my awesome son decided to lock himself in the bathroom. That's a whole nother discussion. If you don't know, I have a special needs son who's autistic, so I have to make sure when I get up, if he decides he's going to get up when I get up, then I got to go deal with that. Confusion about goals and protocols. So I don't know. Do you have goals? Or are you confused about what your goals are? I'm hoping that you don't. I mean, you're not, but I'm hoping that you do have goals, and that you're not really confused about what you need to do. And we'll talk about goal setting later on this week. Going over the budget and spending too much money or resources on a project. Do you go over budget when it comes to your e-commerce business? Do you even have a budget? And we've talked about the fact that you should get one. Everybody should have a budget. Receiving a high number of customer complaints. There you go. Low quality or unprofessional work products. So, are any of the products that, well, I don't know how you would implement or how you would tie that directly to your e commerce business, but it is something to think about. So, I want to encourage you to at least think about that and see what are the products that you're selling. Maybe there are products that you're selling. Or if you're making products, maybe you're doing some print on demand products, maybe you're doing some other stuff. Are they quality? Are they not quality? Misplacing or losing information and taking a while to search for something. Okay. High stress levels or employees who have a lot of difficulty with work. Mm. Well, I mean, I do have some employees who have some stuff going on, but I don't know. And then being unprepared for meetings or forgetting to bring material or bringing the wrong material. So, I mean, I don't know. The part of this, again, is we're talking about disorganization or organization. So, there's some benefits to being organized in your business, in your e commerce business. Okay. So, being organized, can increase your productivity. So, if you feel like you're a person that you're not as productive in your e-commerce business, it might benefit you to and it might increase you might help you increase your productivity, decrease your stress. Definitely, being organized will help decrease your stress. It will also help you achieve your goals, and whatever those goals are, and hopefully you've set some so you're working towards it. It makes it easier to complete tasks. I've talked about tasks so many different times, the different things that we do in our e-commerce business and also in our lives, like being making it easier to get those things done. Um, Build credibility with your clients if you're organized. Definitely a benefit. Improve job satisfaction. You might be happier with your work, and if you have employees working with you, they might be happier as well. Develop career goal growth. I don't know about that. I mean, you're running your own e-commerce business, so maybe you interpret that as scaling your business. Okay, makes it easier to scale your business and earn higher profits. Definitely foster a positive work environment. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have employees. Being organized can definitely make your work environment a little bit better. So, some ways in which you can prevent or reduce the disorganization that you have in your life. A couple of things: develop some protocols. We've talked about creating standard operating procedures. As you can see, this is again on Indeed. It's nothing to do with directly with e-commerce, but developing protocols. You should have standard operating procedures in your e-commerce business. Digitize information, yes, putting it online so that way you don't have to worry about paper and clutter and everything else. Using calendars, yeah, get the ecom planner, www.myecomplanner.com, so that you can be a little less disorganized. Use to-do lists, again, putting together your daily activities checklist. Look, I didn't write this article, they did, but again, these are things I talk about all the time. Set reminders. I have all of these awesome reminders on my phones. I have reminders on my Google Calendar. I have all kinds of reminders, and so again, that can help you with being a little more organized. Creating a meeting agenda, that helps if you have a team that you're working with, VAs. If there are other things that you do outside your business, maybe this will help in your job. Um, to be a little more organized. Send summary emails. I used to do this all the time. Whenever I meet with our ecom sellers leadership, I'd send a summary email, do summary notes. I still do summary notes when I meet with people. And if you do a coaching session with me early on, I would always send a summary of our discussion or what the coaching suggestions were. So I do that. If you feel like you need a coaching session, I'd be more than happy to help you. You can go to www.ecomsellers.com and then click on coaching and schedule a free 20-minute coaching session. Invest in office supplies. Yeah, I mean, I would consider a planner an investment in an office supplies. Also, dry erase boards. I have what I refer to as the restickable, like giant post-its that you can write on. Keep materials in certain places. Yes, where you know where it is. Now, this is what I will say. I normally know where my stuff is. It's my kids who get in my stuff. I'm like, why are you in that cabinet? Leave that alone. So if you're a person who has, and mine are not little, mine are big, and they still get in there and don't put stuff back. Very annoying. You might try to figure out how you want to solve that problem, and then make time to tidy your desk. I will say that is the one thing that I don't do on a regular basis, and I should, but I think this is a great list. So, I mean, the whole point is that we're talking about organization and things that can help you in your e-commerce business and help you get organized. And so, our goal is to get a little more organized, get a little more structured in what we do every single day, and a little more organized, and a little more structured in our business will eventually help us to be a little more organized and structured in our life. So, I see this article, I receive some of the stuff that's in this article because I will say, yeah, some of it applies to me, some of it does not. But one of the biggest things that I do is I definitely engage in all the activities that will help me to be organized and to get more organized. So I want you to think about the things that you're doing maybe in your business that you feel like, okay, I'm not as organized as I need to be. And so here's some things that can help you. And I believe that all of these tips are very valid tips. And if you feel like any of this applies to you, this might be an opportunity for you to step back, do what you can to begin the process of gradually getting a little more organized in your business and getting a little more organized in your life. Don't try to do it all in one fell swoop. Tackle it one bit at a time, one step at a time, um, so that you can work on being more organized and getting more organized in your life and in your business. So, with that being said, let's talk about our daily e commerce planning activities. So, if you don't have an e commerce planner, I think I have one down here somewhere. I don't know. Right. Yep. So, I have the ecom planner. The thing I love about the ecom planner is that, of course, we have day, the daily holidays, we have the monthly holidays, and we have the international holidays. If you guys don't know, like in India, this weekend was in their New Year's, April the 1st. Yeah, April the 2nd. There, it was New Year's. It was also World Autism Day on April the 2nd. These are all things that in the future you could use that as an opportunity to identify products that will sell. I will tell you, because I am part of the autism community, like autism numbers are not going down. The community is only going to get bigger. So it's a community that needs to be served. So it is an opportunity for you to find products to serve and support that community. So this econ planner can give you all kinds of ideas and tips, and you can use this if you're struggling with product sourcing ideas. You can use this as a starting point for niches. We have a niches workshop tomorrow, and so that is one of those things that you can use it to come up with. Maybe I do want to sell products to the autism community. Maybe that's what I want to do, or maybe I want to find products that the Indian community is interested in. So again, this e-commerce planner actually has so many great things that you can use to help you on your e-commerce journey. So with that being said, let's get back to the checklist. I'm going to go to April, and I'm going to minimize this. I'm actually showing my screen in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. So if you don't have a planner, go get one. Get the digital planner. You can write in it, and you can use that to help you stay on track and get more organized as you go on this lovely e-commerce journey. All right, so I rewrote the daily activity, so I will use that tomorrow. But in any case, the first thing I do want to recommend is, again, it's part of the organization journey, is that you do a little bit of advanced planning, and you do that the night before. So that would be Sunday night. You kind of go through and you assess how maybe your weekend was. How was your Saturday and Sunday? Were you able to accomplish the goals for your Saturday and Sunday, and what were they? Were you able to stay on task and complete the schedule that you had? Hopefully you were. So we make a note of that. In addition to that, we document our stats. What were your stats for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday? How many listings did you create? How much did you have in sales? What were your profits? What were your ads? Number of ads you created? How many orders did you fulfill? All of that stuff is part of that e-commerce journey. So let's keep track of those stats, because that's going to help us make better data-driven decisions in the future. In addition to that, we look at our online calendar. I have a multicolored online calendar. We're probably going to do a Gmail exercise at some point that you'll be able to see, because I create the calendar with multiple colors, and each color represents something different. So things that involve me making money are in green, and I use various shades of green on my calendar. Those activities are on there. And then they're like blocks. I use them as part of my weekly template sort of strategy in some cases. Also, things that are ecom sellers related are in orange. Things that are for my boys are in blue. We have doctor's appointments, they're in purple. So I have different colors for everything. And you can do that in a regular Gmail calendar. It doesn't matter if you're using iCloud or you're using Yahoo, whatever works for you. If you have an online calendar or you have some app that you're using, There's some great apps, and we may talk about the apps over this journey. The next thing is I build out, that would be Sunday night. I build out my schedule for tomorrow, which is today, Monday. Monday, Money Mondays. We always used to say that. It is Money Mondays. So we go through and we build our schedule for tomorrow. Okay. Then the next thing on the list is we step through the process of today, which is right now. If you build the weekly template, if you use the weekly template, then you really only need 5 minutes to build your schedule. That's a fact. So it's really assessing what's on your schedule and rewriting anything that you need to make adjustments for. But in any case, first thing in the morning when we're fresh, because we do the activities we mentioned before, we do those right before we go to bed. If we do those right before we go to bed, if it was a long day, then you might be exhausted and tired. And sometimes you forget things. So we're going to go ahead and reassess yesterday just to make sure we didn't forget anything. Sometimes when you go to sleep and wake up, you're fresh and you remember some things. You're able to recall a little bit better. So we're going to go back and reassess yesterday. And we do that because of the fact that we need to make sure that we're including everything that we need to do in our business. The next thing is that we review and update our weekly priorities and our weekly habits. What are we tracking this week? What are the priorities for this week? It's Monday, so this is the first business day of the week. So what are those things that are important to us? We glance at our monthly plan, our monthly checklist. And then after we glance at our monthly checklist, or our month, there's a bunch of stuff that's on our monthly checklist. If you didn't join our monthly planning, uh, if you didn't join our monthly planning session, then you can go back and listen to that on Clubhouse. You can also check it out in the e-commerce planning Facebook group, where we talk about all of the things that we need to do to make sure we're building a very thorough plan for the month. And then, so it's not just about what's happening in April. It's about what are the products that we want to be able to sell in May, June, July, so that we can order those products now. We can identify those products. We can, get those going. Maybe it's about creating your listings for May. So again, there's always stuff. Since this is the month of April, in the US, the first 2 weeks of this particular month is you got to get your taxes done. So this week for me is all about taxes. Next week for me is all about taxes. Like there's nothing else more important than taxes this week and next week. So, under normal circumstances, I would spend the first week on admin related stuff and then the second week on ordering inventory for the next month. Like I have a structure for my first week of the month, second week of the month, third week of the month, fourth week of the month, and mine changes this week. So the next thing is review and rewrite today's schedule. So again, this can be a 5-minute process for all of these things that I'm listing if you are organized and you have built your weekly template, because all you're doing is taking the information from your actual or creating the actual on the fly based on the information you have in the template. So we go through, we write out the schedule, we make sure we incorporate everything that's part of our life. That includes all of our family and household things, all of our health and fitness things, all of our spiritual things, all of our personal and personal development things, financial, all of that gets incorporated into this planner that we've created, because sometimes as part of this journey, we use the excuse of, well, I never had time to get those things done. I don't have time to run. If you don't have time to run an e-commerce business, then maybe you should not be running an e-commerce business. And that's a fact. I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm just trying to be real. So if you don't have time and you feel like this is a priority for you, if this is what you really want to do, then you have to make the time. We always make time for what's important. So we make the time to do this e-commerce thing. So you're going to write out your schedule, write out everything that you're doing, account for either your morning, afternoon, or evening activities, or you account for every hour throughout the day. Even if the task only takes 15 or 30 minutes in the hour, at least, that's called time blocks, at least put it on the schedule so you can use that as a reference point. The next thing is we are going to jot down a couple of things for next week's schedule. I mean, not next week's, tomorrow's schedule, which is Tuesday. The reason we do that is, it increases our awareness of what's supposed to be happening tomorrow. Today's schedule is going to bring us back on track throughout the day when we get distracted and we get, sucked into the vortex of some other stuff. Then It brings us back to center. The last thing is that we also want to make sure that we're making a note of a couple of different things. One, we want to make a note of anything that's coming up that might interrupt our schedule for a few hours today or tomorrow. These are things, like a doctor's appointment, that may throw you off your schedule, but your goal is always to make sure that that schedule, that plan is um, not during your work hours or not during your most productive time of the day. So in the future, you want to make sure you're scheduling doctor's appointments where it's not your most productive time of the day. The next thing is to make a note about the upcoming events and activities that are going to suck up a lot more of your time, maybe disrupt your week. So, family members that are coming in from out of town visiting for the week, or maybe for the weekend, they're going to be there for several days. And so, maybe you're a person you work Monday through Friday. And so, Saturday and Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when you spend all your time working your e commerce business. But that's definitely going to put a kink in the game. So, anything that's going to be a major disruption to your schedule, we got to make sure we have a plan for those things or we address those things. If we don't have a plan or we don't address them, then they're definitely going to cause us to procrastinate. They're going to cause us to come up with an excuse or a reason or a justification why we can't work in our e-commerce businesses. So make sure you account for those things. They're not, if they've given you a heads up, they're not a surprise. If your family is like the Griswolds, I don't know if you've seen the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation whole season. So they just randomly show up. That's a whole different thing. But if you know that they're coming, it's not a surprise. Plan for it. Okay. Same thing, like if you have a surgery that's going to have you down for a while, or maybe you're caring for a loved one and they have surgery or they've got some medical issues and it's going to have you down for a while. Plan for those types of things and account for them. And so make sure you have a plan for that. All right. Well, with that being said, my name is Nicole Whitlock. This is the Ecom Sellers Daily Ecom Planning Session, our PEP Talk. And what we're doing is we're planning for today. Today, we focused a little bit on the organization. I hope that you find this information helpful. You can connect with me on Facebook in the e-commerce planning Facebook group. You can also connect with me on Clubhouse. You can message me there. Um, if you need a coaching session, you can schedule a one-on-one coaching session at www.ecomsellers.com and click on coaching, and I'd be happy to help you. Go back and listen to this again. Share this out with a friend, someone that you know that maybe needs a little bit of a pep talk on this e-commerce journey, and grab the ecom planner. You can grab that at www.myecomplanner.com. Go ahead and fill it in, type in the things that you have planned on your agenda for this week, and let's get this party started. All right. I pray that you have a highly productive and successful and focused day. That I'm going to say goodbye for now, y'all. Goodbye.